AFTV Young Guns, DT, how long have you been a fan of Arsenal?
Too long.
Too long?
Yeah, too long. 31 years.
Really?
Yeah, long time.
So what would you say some of your earliest memories are?
Highbury, not the Emirates. That's my earliest memories. January the 1st, 1987 was my first game. Played Wimbledon at home. Charlie Nicholas scored a couple of goals and Niall Quinn. Yeah, so for some of you youngsters, go and Google the name.
Educating with DT. So who would you say was like your childhood inspiration as in Arsenal players?
When I first started, it was Charlie Nicholas. I loved him. Champagne Charlie is what they used to call him, because back in the day it was a drinking culture at Arsenal, and he was known as Champagne Charlie. So, and then it was Ian Wright.
Ian Wright.
Oh, loved Ian Wright.
Favourite of my dad's as well.
Wow, when he burst onto the scene, I was there when he scored his first ever goal against Leicester. And he slipped over and stuck it in the bottom corner. Then a few days later, we was at the Old Dell, Southampton, and he scored a hat-trick. And Rocky Rocastle scored as well in a 4-0 win. And he never looked back after that. Never looked back, going all the way through, right up to when he scored his goals to break the old record back then. He got one first and he thought he'd broke it and celebrated and showed his t-shirt that had said he'd done it when he hadn't, and luckily for him he ended up breaking it like 5 minutes later with just a tap in. But and then after that it was Thierry Henry. Thierry, wow, that I didn't think anyone would ever come close to being near righty. But Thierry was something different, and you know, my oldest boy over there, his middle name's Thierry after him. So and my boy's 16, and I say this to people, a lot of people will name their children after certain players once they've established themselves. And
there's one actually over there with a middle name, Thierry.
There you go. Crazy. And it's like, but he's nearly 17, and Henry had only been at the club about 6-7 months when he came along, and I wanted his first.
Just fell in love.
Do you know what? From the moment I watched him in his debut at Highbury against Leicester. And he missed a hatful of chances, and he could have come off the bench and scored a hat-trick. But when I watched him, I was like, wow, this boy is something. I could just see something about him. I just never knew that he would go on to be what he was, but I just knew there was something about him. And then he started scoring, and he was banging in goals. And I wanted his first name to be Thierry, and his mum wouldn't let me. So I got the compromise of putting Thierry as his middle name. So, for me, wow, I didn't think I'd ever see the goal scoring record broken for Ian Wright, because it took so long for Ian Wright to break his record. So to someone to come on straight after and then break Wright's records, I've been lucky to see two of the greatest strikers in Arsenal's history in my lifetime. So happy days.
So you just spoke about Thierry Henry and Ian Wright. Would you say they're in your top 3 players of all time?
Oh, do you know what?
That's a question, isn't it?
It is a hell of a question. It's kind of like, I've had people say about top 3, and I've kind of got the easy way out of it by saying, can we say top 5?
Can you do it on the spot right now?
No, I can't really split Henry and Bergkamp. I think Henry was just a different animal, different beast. What he did was just, he was like a swan on water. It's like he never used to touch the floor, he'd just glide across it. Dennis Bergkamp, I feel that Henry probably wouldn't have got half of what he did without Dennis Bergkamp. But then Dennis Bergkamp come to Arsenal, and I think he revolutionised Arsenal. So it's a tough one between them. And then we've got Ian Wright in there. And I've got Patrick Vieira as well. And then right behind us, a great man, Tony Adams, best captain ever. And you know, Vieira's close to being right up there in terms of captaincy, but because of the whole fact that Vieira was foreign, but yet he came into the club and understood the history and the meaning of playing for Arsenal. So I think that was something unique that you don't see in the modern era now. So you know, foreign players, they kind of come over, and no disrespect to them, but a lot of them come over and they don't grasp the culture. And you're seeing a lot in the media lately about a lot of foreign managers, players, and they're not even learning the language. So for them type of players to come over and embrace the culture, the language, you know, everything about Arsenal. So like I said, I've been lucky. I have been lucky to see some amazing people in my time and players. So